Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Everybody, I want to welcome you to the Dr. Pat Show. We've got a great show for you today. And what we're talking about, look, previous shows with Salica we've talked about the history, the ancient wisdom. You know, we brought you to the point where we almost touched upon the fact that when we talk about salt in our pop culture, it had become something that people just were confused about and didn't understand. But we need to flash back to the healing properties. We need to talk about healing with salt frequencies, because think about it. Think about how much of the earth is covered. Think about why that might be. Think about the frequencies of that. Now think about what the world would be like without it. Today, joining me here is another conversation about salt healing. You know, Salica, you are somebody that has created an organization. You train people in how to heal. You have done so many different things, right? Everywhere from living in a spiritual center in Greece and so forth and so on. So you have become immersed in what some people may call the secrets of salt healing. So today, let's not keep it a secret anymore. Let's talk about how we shift from one frequency to another with this. Great to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, for this wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm glad to be here again, and let's talk about salt healing and frequencies. And yes, as you said, salt is a little bit forgotten, the healing possibilities with salt, and I'm here to bring it back to your consciousness that there are so many possibilities also with salt healing. And when I talk about salt healing, it's, as you said, salt frequencies. It's not just the physical salt. We can energize it. It's also a wonderful tool, but it's salt healing is about frequencies, and we all are in frequencies. And if we have a high frequency, then we are feeling good.
Yeah. And, you know, we have certainly heard about frequencies now. The science is proving on everything from Dr. Emoto's work to where we are today. And yet, this is one of these things where we have something that we're surrounded by in the world. But let's talk about what salt healing is for a minute. How would you define it? Now, for me, having been pretty sick at a point in my life, I understand about healing and frequencies, but I don't think everybody understands that everything is a frequency.
This is true, yes. I would like, if you agree, talk a little bit about what I think healing
Yes.
generally means, because
Please.
I always see a lot of misunderstanding on this healing. So if we take an example, you become ill with cancer, for example, or with a deep depression, you would just wish that somebody, a healer or a doctor, could take this away from you. And you are, when your body reacts, you are on a low frequency. It's not about feeling guilty that you are now ill. It's just to realize that somehow you are not balanced in your high frequency with your higher consciousness. And so the misunderstanding about healing is that some people wish just that healing comes from outside, but it's always an inside job. And
Yeah.
so when we go to salt healing, salt has the speciality that salt knows exactly what you need in the moment to do the next step of healing. And healing means for me that the client, the the one who needs this at the moment opens his heart and takes a look at his self, at himself. And then salt can do magic. If you say yes, salt frequency can do a lot of things, but without expecting the miracle.
Yeah. But here we are with this, and I have to say something, and you know this better than most. Healing and the ancient understanding of healing, if you go back, people walking the earth thousands of years ago knew it came from within. You could see them pull the energy. You could see them. And so now what we're talking about is reminding people of these energies, but also reminding that the power that we have given within to heal is
Yeah.
almost indescribable.
Yes, this is true. It's an empowering of oneself again. If you remember that you have everything inside, you have the knowledge, the wisdom, you brought it with you to heal. But because I always want to bring the whole picture, healing does not always mean that your body becomes good again. Okay, healing might also mean that you do a lot of healing work in this lifetime, but if your soul, healing means according with your soul plan, what you want to experience in this lifetime, but you can also decide newly. And sometimes for some people, healing process is also to leave this body, but salt accompanies you because people see themselves just from birth to death, but also death, leaving this body is again a birth into another dimension. And so it goes, it's like it never ends. So I would like just not to make you afraid now. Healing means that you should do as much work in this lifetime you can do, work with the meaning to balance your energies, to bring peace, to release your emotions, to release your traumas, and so on, to become aware of your power to do this. And then you can leave also this incarnation in peace. And this, I think, is a very, very big healing if you don't try to catch on your life.
But let's get back to the notion of this and the evolution of why we're here today.
Yeah.
Because we're in a world right now where we honestly try to keep up with how to keep ourselves healthy. And so healing is on our minds a lot. And so I wanted to ask you about the salt frequencies and how does salt heal? I think this is a perfect time to give people an example of what you've seen, what you do, and it's why it's so absolutely powerful. Let's talk about what you've done. Let's hear do you have an example?
Yes, I can give an example. Mostly people feel that salt energy, salt frequency is just like coming home. I said this, I think, also in another interview. It's like coming home. You feel the embrace of the Divine Mother, and you know I can heal. I can just show myself as I am. So I just describe a little bit how a healing session would be with a salt priest. I train in my training Salt Consciousness Level 1 salt priests, and they do the healing sessions after. This means you would come to a salt priest and you say, of course, why you want a healing session, huh? And then the salt priest does some like a ritual. He bows or she bows to you, to your soul, and connect somehow with your soul being and with what is at the moment beside of what you told is the most important. But salt frequency, and this is the special about salt, knows exactly what you need. So the salt priest does not have to talk a lot. It's just the healing frequencies flow to you and it happens what can happen. It's like you are uplifted. It's not about talking a lot or giving a lot of tips or so. It's more really it's a holy ceremony. Like this, you could imagine. And sometimes the salt priest understand, okay, now it's enough, and then they take a look how to go on, no? Somehow like this. There are also some energized salt. Maybe it is good for the client to take something, but the most important thing happens during the salt frequencies flowing to the client. Yes. Oh, okay.
So I want to get back to a couple things here. And in the scheme of things, and as we look at this, I want to talk about what it means for you and others and the people you've trained, what this means for you to work with salt frequencies, because it's hard to explain to people the power. And I keep referring back to the ancient wisdom. I keep referring back to when this was one of the prime resources on the planet to use. And we used them here in the Pacific Northwest. You know, the First Nation, the tribes here, the people that were by the water, you know, they understood this powerfully, right? And you have people all over this country and all over countries that understood this. You know, even when you go back to ancient Egypt, and you look at what they built and how they built things and what they used. And so this is really a message to remind people that there is a way to work with these frequencies. And that's what, Salica, you're doing. You're giving people a way to do that. So let's talk about this training. What's involved for you to work with salt frequencies, to teach others, and then for them, you know, to come out and step into that world of
Yeah,
being a leader to heal people.
it's true. The salt priests and salt priestesses are leader from this. I don't like so much this word leader, but in fact they are leaders because they just go forward and they spread the light. And so this is a very important thing they do. Before I tell something about the training, I just would like to say something for the salt frequencies. It's salt works on your essence, and salt reminds you your essence. And if you know what is your essence, you find the place in life and you are in peace, and then everything is good. You are also healing with this. So people come to me when they have the feeling they would like to upgrade what they are doing. They work as a healer or a coach or somehow like this, or also yoga teachers, and they feel in this time something is missing. And then they find me or one of my trainers, and then we check whether it's on their path. And if it's on their path, they are invited to join the healer training, the salt priest training, and
Yeah.
it is 8 days. I do it online.
Wow.
Yes, on week.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And salt works very quickly. It goes quickly
Yes.
and very deep. And you have to be determined really to say yes to this process, because it's a huge transformation also for those who do the training. It's like a big healing shift. They're again uplifted, huh?
Yeah.
And then
You change.
they change
You
totally.
change. You change. You know, everybody talks about the end game, the end result. But we
Yes.
have to start talking about how when we reach out and how we become trained in something like this, how our own frequencies change.
Yes, it's not possible if you don't change your own frequencies. You
Yeah,
can't
I
have
know.
the result. Yes, and so they have to say yes to this healing process to themselves, for themselves. And in the training, we learn all these healing techniques. There are some main healing techniques for all the all the issues of a human being can have on Earth. And the main trauma, I always say, is the Atlantean trauma. And from there, everything else, what we have as traumas, emotional lacks, and so on, is the source Atlantean trauma. And so salt healing does what has to be done for every client differently. And so, as a soul priest, you don't have to know exactly what the other has. You just can trust the souls and do this. And it's you have to accept again your own holiness. This is also important. If you want to do the training, you have to accept that you are a holy being, that your body is very holy, and Earth itself is a holy being. And it's very for this salt priest and not salt healer, it's something else. It's the bringer of light to earth. Yes.
Well, I mean, when we're talking about the bringer of life to earth, I mean, I am so shocked right now by how many, let's just call them products or materials right now, are being talked about online regarding salt, and especially Himalayan salt. We hear this a lot in ways, Salica, that we've not heard them before. We hear about drinking certain salt. We're just hearing more about it. So it seems like there's a rise in consciousness, but yet people are missing this piece that we're talking about today. So I want to make sure people know, how do they take this training with you and how do they find out more?
You can go to my website, please, salica-saltvision.com. And there also you can find a link where you can book 30 minutes free talk with me, just to find out whether it's on your path in this lifetime to be a salt priest. Yes. And also on my website, there is more information about the training and what we are doing there.
Okay, so let's get back to this for a minute. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, there's anyone that is out in the world doing what you're doing, there is a weight that you can. I'm feeling it right now with the launch of the network. I'm just feeling the weight of this. Do you know what I mean? It's not a burden, but there's something that we carry. So how does that feel for you? What does this experience feel like for you? Because you're responsible for a lot of people, right?
Yes, this is right. And sometimes I also feel this weight because it's a responsible position somehow to train people to be treating other people, to heal and so on. But at the same time, I love it so much because it's just what I have to do in this lifetime, and this is wonderful. So it's so touching because I can see what happens with the people if they do the training, and their essence, they are shining, they are in their light, and it's the biggest gift for me. Yes.
When I get to those moments, and I have those moments, especially now as we're coming up on the expansion and the launch, I get these moments where you feel the weight of it, but then you feel the gift and the blessing, right? And don't you think that because we're using these frequencies, because we're understanding salt frequencies, and especially you're able to count on your own practices to really help you, right? It's almost like, in order for anyone to be a practitioner of healing at any level, but when you're dealing with salt frequencies, you're dealing with frequencies. And don't you find you have to keep your own self in check?
What do you mean, your own self in check?
Make sure your frequencies
Oh,
are
of
the
course.
best they can be, right?
Yes.
Because I forget sometimes.
Yes, this is, you have to be and to do what you teach. This is also always for me. Of course, we have to take care about ourselves first, huh? To keep the own frequency high. I always try to do this also, yes, and to keep my space open and wide. Yes.
So I want to ask you, what do you have coming up? How do people find out about the courses?
Oh, I'm on Facebook, on Instagram. with my website, and on Facebook I do monthly a free workshop in my Facebook group, so people just can come and join. And also I do monthly low ticket seminars, so people can come in touch with what is now salt frequency, what is salt consciousness, because I know we talk now a lot, but I'm sure for some people still it is not understandable what exactly it is. For those, you can write in my mailing list, and then you will be informed about my next projects.
Yeah. So we're in a world now. I've done 3 shows now this week. I think 3 or 4 that I can't remember. But we're talking about things that are so upfront in people's lives. For example, we did a show with Aura Lee, who works with women in pregnancy and cancer, and we talked about the rise that's happening. And, we can, as a psychologist, I can pinpoint to certain psychology things. But you see, what we're talking about isn't unidimensional. It's a multidimensional. We are multidimensional. So when you talk about salt frequencies to me, it's not just about the body. It's about the body. It's about the mind, and it's about the spirit. Because these frequencies go back. I can't even think of the tens of thousands of years they go back. But
Yes.
this is really what we have to remember. We have something available to us. I want to ask you this last question. What's your personal message? What excites you most?
Hmm. Allow yourself to shine again in your own light. This would be my message for all of you, because if we all shine in our own light and try not to be somebody else, then everyone finds his place in life, and he heals, and we will have peace also. Yes. Thank you so
Totally
much.
love it. Yeah. And by the way, it's very difficult to shine if we are not aware, one, that we are frequencies, and two, that we have the power to make the adjustment. Salika,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
So,
everything.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. We've done a series of shows on this. And if you're ever wondering why you're turning on the TV now and there's a pop-up, some commercial, and now you're hearing things like salt, different kinds of salt. If you're sitting at your computer and all of a sudden an ad pops up, what's popping up? So there's a reason that this is happening, but there's the place that you go to actually learn for real what to do about it. And that's what Salica is doing. We'll see you next time.